people start talking about car racing, no one talks much about the cars. Everybody seems to want to see the superstars. Now this is what this story's about, a real heartwarming tale of how Lady Luck has been up and down with a country boy named Cale. Like most of racing superstars, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes determination and dedication and a car that's running right, with Lady Luck and a crew of men that are with him all the way. He starts his car and holds his breath and dreams this is the day. It's tough to drive in every race and never get a win, but it's a lot more tough to pick yourself up and start all over again. It seems that when it gets so close, his car would just turn stale. Everybody had given up, that is everybody but Cale.
Whoa there, Baker's off course. Man, has he got rubber to burn. Lock those wheels and pray. It's not recommended, but that's one way to get into the pits in a hurry. Hello, Wall. And hello again. He's lost it. And look out. Under control now, Waltrip fully realizes how Darlington looks unkindly on rookies, and vice versa. The driver in car 83 might have taken a lesson from Waltrip.
And suddenly, the green flag is out. The race is on. And what is this? David Pearson, a brash young rookie whose 1961 Pontiac was the fastest qualifier in the field, has thrown caution to the wind and cut inside in a swirl of dust as he attempts to beat the leaders into the first turn. It's Joe, the man who won last year's World 600, in big trouble. There goes a tire. It's Jarrett, fighting for control. Marvin Patch is in trouble. Baker's bicycle crosses up in front of Joe Weatherly. Joe tries to straighten him out, but it's no use. These men have been flirting with tragedy all day. Now it has struck. 20 feet of steel guardrail ripped through Red Kegel's car as he crashed the fence. This is the price that fate demands of those who gamble at high speeds and lose. Kegel paid with an automobile and a leg. He's out front. There goes Friday Hassler. And the oncoming traffic threads its way by. There goes Banjo Matthews. And things are happening fast now. There's another car in trouble. Burdick's Pontiac, with Larry Frank at the wheel, sends cars spinning in the first turn.
There's a wild mix-up involving 5 cars on the second turn. Junior Johnson's Ford is rammed from behind by number 45, driven by rookie Bud Moore. Johnson safe and disgusted. His Ford is a total washout. Another Lewis, Paul Lewis.
The faster you go, the tougher it is. You pay for every mile an hour. Pay in mechanics' sweat and drivers' chill. Through the rail in the first turn. It's Pagan. Pagan blew a tire, smashed through the guardrail, and rolled down the 40-foot embankment. Number 45 is ready for the junk pile after a mishap at 115 miles an hour. Uh-oh, car in trouble.
how do they do it?
That's according up to the Ford guys. If they want to run, we'll run. If they want to stroke, we'll all stroke.
But the Carolinas is good Ford country, where the word fastback is replacing the word fatback in breakfast table conversation. Fair-haired boy of this flock is Fred Lorenzen in the Holman Moody prepared white number 28. He'll start alongside Johnson on the front row. Choice starting spots are crammed with Fords. In the second row are Marvin Panch, number 21, and Fireball Roberts, number 22. As the cars come off the fourth turn, 59,000 fans rise to their feet, and 90,000 tons of machinery roar toward the green flag.
We're getting about 90 to 100 miles to a tank, which is approximately 4.5 miles to the gallon, and I think we'll make approximately 4 to 5 pit stops. We're going to try to make it in 4, but I doubt it. It'll probably take 5 stops every 90 to 100 miles.
Here's action on the home stretch. Buck Baker's tire blew. Larry Frank swerved to miss him, putting both cars out of control. Jim Pascal couldn't find a hole and crashed into Baker. But it's a day of quick changing emotions. Petty, who moved to second place in 100 miles, is now a spectator. His car is dead. It's the blackest day in the 15-year racing history of the Petty team, which entered 3 cars in the $117,000 race. Jim Pascal was an early wreck casualty. Petty's car quit after 90 laps, and a faulty fuel pump sidelined Bob James at lap number 111.
Well, I've had real good luck. Now, you can't say I hadn't had good luck, but I just hadn't got the right brakes to win a big race. I've been close, but that don't pay quite as much as it does to win the race.
John Duckworth spins. Coming off the wall, he stopped cold. Broadside to the oncoming traffic. Trying to move out of the way. Bill Jenkins spins out to avoid him. But Marty Mount sees him too late. Luckily, seatbelts kept both boys from serious injury.
It takes a special kind of man to drive a stock car racing automobile. This special breed must have many things in abundance: courage, strength and endurance, fabulously fast reflexes, and an even faster brain.
No, when I got out of that car in 1961 down there in the 4th turn, I figured this was my lucky day and it must be my lucky track.
I think I'll have a pretty good chance. I've been running real good out here during practice and all, but I really pulled a ding-doo on my qualifying yesterday, George. I was running up right at 142, and then all of a sudden I dropped off when I qualified to 139.5, and I felt real bad about it. But we put another engine in the car, and I think it's going to be real strong for Sunday.
Little Joe has a good line through turn 4, but his car goes out of control in turn 6. A different angle shows smoke from Joe's car before it slammed into the steel plate wall. Tragically, Weatherly died instantly in the crash.
Look at Keith move that dirt. Tenses. He's 63 starters a row. The pace lap once around the track to line up and pick up speed. Starts 500 blistering miles. 14 different makes are here today, racing for a share of a $29,000 pot of prizes. This is the largest track for stock car racing in the world. Here they come into the last corner and heading for the green flag at lap number 1. With Monty Flock and 14 in the lead as they go barreling into the first turn with everything turned on. Look at them climb that wall. Fireball Roberts blows a tire and heads for the pits. Buck Baker in 87 takes the lead. Fireball spends over 2 minutes in the pits, and that's better than 2 laps at Baker's speed. Herb Thomas, 1951 winner and holder of the track record, moves up. Junior Johnson in 75 goes sailing by. The pace on the first turn is almost unbelievable. Junior Johnson in 75. He's getting out. There's a fire under the hood. Earlier this year, Junior drove a modified stock car to a new track record over the 200-mile distance here at better than 105 miles an hour. He's really modified this number 75. He'll need a new car and a new shirt. This North Carolina boy is going home early this afternoon. Johnson in 97. The field is slowed down while Lacey gets out from under. How did Lacey ever get in there in the first place? Wonderful, he can still smile.
The speeding cars plow to the soft sand on the turn which leads to the backstretch. A car is over. It's Smokey Purser, an old-timer who raced in the 30s. This was to be his comeback race. He's not hurt. Herb Thomas in 92 has taken the lead. Then comes Monty Flock to move up to second place.
There's a spin. It's Bjorn Steen, the rookie. Whoa! Fred Butcherson catches the broadside. First Robbins slides and nudges Steen Brett Carr. Somebody must have dropped oil in that third turn. Robbins is able to keep moving, but he's out of the race. Red Wickersham walked out of that car with a few scratches. But Bjorn Steen was pinned inside, cut free by the rescue squad. Yarborough's trying to pass. They're in deep trouble. Mikhail Yarborough's over the wall. He never even touched the guardrails. He sailed down that 40-foot slope. The plate slides through the infield. Leroy Yarborough was clipped. He tried to avoid the collision. His front lid was torn off. Sure glad I wasn't close when it happened.
Tommy Thompson has lost the wheel. Look out! He almost hit him. Hey, what a place to stall. Another car is stalled on the same dangerous turn, and Ponty Flock almost hits him. He gets the checkered flag and wins his second Daytona race. It's a great day for Marshall T.
Buck Baker wins it after 5 hours and 23 minutes of driving. Baker's from Charlotte, North Carolina. Mighty glad he spent the afternoon across the state line at Darlington. He's grimy and dog-tired. The crowd closes in on him in tribute to a game driver who stuck to it. Baker's average time almost 93 miles an hour, 16 miles an hour better than the previous record. His winnings more than $6,000. Proud Margaret stands beside him. Ponty Flock, who took second place, joins Baker. The asphalt's still hot from their driving. Thousands of miles.
There's a little bit of the county fair atmosphere at a stock car race, particularly here in North Wilkesboro. And usually it's an all-day affair for the entire family. They'll come pouring out of the hills of Wilkes County to see good old Junior run. And he hopes that this time he won't disappoint those thousands of friends and neighbors.
We try to win here at our hometown than anywhere else because I hate to be run home and whooped in my own backyard. This place we like to win a little bit over any other place we run.
He's been called many things: the Ronda Roadrunner, the Charger, the Mountain Man, the Chicken Farmer. But there's another word that applies to this steel-nerved son of the superspeedways, this flat-out flyer who disdains anything lower than first place. That word? Champion.
Our first event takes us to the Hickory Speedway and a 100-mile late model stock car race, the Hickory 250. The track is 4/10 of a mile of hard clay surface, a tricky little dish composed mostly of hard left turns, but with enough straights to eliminate the tourists. This kind of event is the real backbone of stock car racing, the bread and butter work of drivers and mechanics. If you're not a racing buff and wonder what these guys do between the glamorous super speedway spectacles, this is it. You'll find even the old pros out practicing like this every time they change tracks. It's like putting, shooting jump shots, or hitting a look-in pass. Practice makes it work or shows your mistakes. The capacity crowd of 14,000 is tense with the excitement of the moment as the cars move into the pace lap. Out of the fourth turn now, speed picking up, starter checking the lineup, crowd on its feet, they look even, green silk falls and the race is on. Through the turn, it's as tight as a beggar's budget. But at the top of backstretch, Curtis Turner, number 41, whips the Ford out of the pack and takes the lead. The Charlotte veteran, one of racing's all-time greats, shows how he got that way as he sprints through the first lap. Well, Tiny Lundcand, here goes the cross South Carolina big guy into his own version of the old soft shoe. Tiny proves he's a pro, and he hangs right in there. Look out! Richard Petty finds the dirt track going a little tricky as he tries it in the sideways, right in front of the new leader. Petty rights the Plymouth, the chase continues, and the crowd strains to see who's in first. And it's none other than Curtis Turner, number 41. Look who's challenging him now. It's Ned Jarrett. But the Camden Flash has pushed it too far, and it's a Ford Watusi in the third turn. Doug Cooper manages to avoid a collision, and Jarrett limps off at school zone speed. Pow! A whip crack spin in the second turn. And there goes the last chance for Richard Petty. One of the few drivers left with still a shot at Pearson. Up against the fence, and number 43 is out of the race. Through the third and fourth turns, it's all over but the shouting as Spartanburg's David Pearson takes the checkered flag and top money in the Hickory 250.
May 22nd, 1975, Charlotte, North Carolina. A whopping crowd of over 20,000 fans have gathered to watch their heroes qualify for the 16th running of the longest race on the NASCAR circuit, the World 600. What better omen could any driver ask for? But Richard Petty, superstar of the STP racing team, doesn't believe in omens. Richard Petty believes only in himself, in his skill as a driver.
Richard Petty don't believe in jinxes, so I know it wasn't a jinx on him. Just because I hadn't ever won it is no sign it's a jinx, because look at all the hundreds of people that have run and hadn't won, and they don't call it a jinx for them.
Richard Petty, by most expert standards, is the greatest stock car driver of all time. In his 18-year career, he has won almost twice the number of races as his closest competitor. In fact, he has won on every Grand National Division track in the country, except 2. And one of those is in his own backyard, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The nearest thing to a blemish on the otherwise remarkable career of an old country boy that race fans have come to worship as King Richard. There's another spin out in the second turn, and it seems as if the power of the old track is out to grab him. But Petty keeps right on charging. For 18 years, he has fought numerous hardships to set records that may never be surpassed. Over 160 NASCAR victories, 5 Grand National Championships, and now nearly $2 million in winnings. This race is the highlight of a career, the final stepping stone to total success, the big one that has slipped away so many times. Richard Petty wins the World 600, America's longest racing classic. Long live the legend. Long live the king. Richard Petty, king of NASCAR racing.
Whammo! Here's that second turn again. This is the kind of upsetting action that makes the short track so very educational. When racing is resumed, the lineup is the same. It's number 0, looking more and more like a winner, holding strong in first place. 26 is second, but he's got more company that he can use from 44. The battle between these two is tougher than a cheap steak as they go grill to grill completely around the high-banked oval. Action in the second turn. Number 94 finds the footing a little slick, gives us a couple pirouettes, and then parks it on the inside rail the hard way. Discouraged but not defeated, he's going back to the war. But more action. Again, it's that double dangerous second turn as two cars lock it up in a quick spin. And here comes your winner of our second feature, the silver streak that led the entire race, number 0. Charlotte Motor Speedway's World 600 the biggest game of chance on wheels. It is the longest, the roughest, the meanest, the most demanding stock car race in the world. Anything can and usually does happen in this premier racing event. It's the acid test for both man and machine. 600 grueling miles of endless highway at speeds above 145 miles per hour. And a challenge every inch of the way. One mental error or faulty piece of equipment can end it all. It takes 400 high-speed rolls around a 1.5 mile asphalt track before you can pick up the punt. It is a race where driving skill is essential, where mechanical perfection is mandatory. But to throw a natural in the World 600, the greatest thing you have to have is luck. Since the very first World 600, Lady Luck has played a big hand. In 1960, Jack Smith had more than a 7-lap lead with less than 50 laps to go when a rock knocked a gaping hole in his gas tank, and Joe Lee Johnson came home the winner. David Pearson got the checkered flag in 1961 riding on 3 wheels. Nelson Stacy won in 1962 after leading only the last 10 laps. 1963 saw Junior Johnson lose the lead and the race to Fred Lorenzen, less than 3 miles from the end because of a blown engine, and Freddie coasting to victory lane with an empty gas tank. Then there was 1964 when 17 victory-capable cars started and only one, that of winner Jim Pascal, had a trouble-free ride. In 1965, Fred Lorenzen held off the charge of Earl Balmer to capture the 6th World 600. Then the big day, race day. Baker, Derringer, Balmer, Spencer, and Hilton are hoping it's Independence Day. 44 tightly packed race cars ease through the 4th turn at about 100 miles an hour. The green flag waves and 44 feet suddenly hit the floorboard. Now Pearson is in trouble. What a great exhibition of driving. With his car caroming off the wall like a billiard ball, Pearson still kept the upper hand and steered his crippled machine off the 4th turn wall and into pit road for a repair job.
Buck Baker spins out of the 4th turn. With a champion's hand, Baker controls the car and continues to the pit. A masterful display of skill by Baker. Here's the first casualty of the long afternoon. Armand Holly blows an engine after just 45 miles. It's a tough way to wind up a week of hard work. Misfortune also strikes Buddy Arrington. Arrington wants to pit, but the wayward wheel wants to continue. Frank Warren loses the Chevy briefly, but regains control and continues. No caution flag here, but Goldsmith heads to the pit for his first stop. And Jim Pascal, number 14, takes the lead. Champion spin in front of the grandstand, sliding into the first turn infield. Derringer is pressing hard, too hard, and he loses it in the fourth turn. Derringer controls the Ford, but in the pit, Junior Johnson has Cale Yarborough standing by to relieve Derringer if necessary. Jim Pascal wheels the Plymouth off the fourth turn for the last time to take the checkered flag, winner of the World 600. A jubilant crew heralds the victory that is as much theirs as anybody's. Just 5 seconds back, Pearson is second, Bobby Allison is third, 11 seconds behind Pascal. For Pascal, win number 2 in this most challenging of all stock car races. In the victory circle, traditional honor for a tired but oh so happy winner. $29,000 richer, 4.5 hours older. Pascal gratefully accepts the cheers of the fans, rightly due the victor of the world's greatest stock car race, the World 600.
They learned a race car can't fly. The old rules of racing still apply. A winning race driver is a man who will go as fast as the track allows and the car will handle, and then just a little bit faster.
Well, our biggest speed here, our highest speed, will be in the neighborhood of 135 to 40 mile an hour at the end of the straightaway. So that means we slow down to probably 100 mile an hour or a little bit less than 100 mile an hour through the corner.
Well, the cars here, if they get around this place, they're really going to have to handle it. It takes a real good handling chassis to get around a racetrack like this. You got to set your front end up where the car leads to the left. Got to have a rest bar to bite, and it's just going to be a handling racetrack, I think.
Now, this is it. The first go of the 500-mile journey. This is the moment the multitude of Richard Petty fans have been waiting for. But it's Johnson, not Petty, who breaks into the lead. Known as the American 500, has its first accident less than 10 seconds after birth. What a beginning. One that veteran Darrell Derringer and rookie John Sears won't forget. Both were innocent parties, but both now must retire to the sidelines. Racing experts appear correct on one point. They predicted the first turn would be the Action Central at North Carolina Motor Speedway.
Now, as far as the pole goes, as far as us getting it, I figured it would be between me and Junior and David, and it wound up that I got to qualify a little before the rest of them did, and the sun didn't bother me like it did Junior and David. The sun's going to be a real factor on us going into number 1 corner, because as about 4 o'clock, 3:30 or 4 o'clock, the sun gets right in our eyes, and it's going to be real hard to see, and if anything happens, then we're liable to have a little trouble there, but other than that, it's going to be real good.
Well, the sun problem could be quite a big factor here on race day. I think most of the boys are preparing for it. I am myself with a different type windshield, and also we're taping the windshields quite down low on different types of goggles and sunglasses. But between 4:45 and 4:30, I think you'll see the pace drop a couple of miles an hour.
Does have trouble, and it proves costly for Chrysler Corporation in the third turn. Gene Black's number 75 couldn't avoid collision And after 58 miles, it's all over for car number 43. Richard Petty, one of Stock Car Racing's most popular drivers, finds it's a long walk home. But 3 was a crowd, and the man in the middle, Isaac, made like an elephant as he went through the eye of the needle to burst into the lead. Auto Racing's 2 roughest chargers, Johnson and Turner, had just been outcharged. Something has happened to the leader. This stop wasn't on the schedule. Impatience is showing, but what's the trouble? This is the worst moment in auto racing, sitting on the sidelines and watching the race go by. You're defenseless. From a lap lead, Petty now finds himself behind. The frantic pit crew finally finds the trouble, a distributor cap. But the new leader on lap 474 is Turner. But he too suffers from too much first turn or too much sun. Maybe it's both. Still, he charges. Pro, though, isn't about to let go. Not this close. He's had too many bumper-to-bumper challenges this sunshiny afternoon to worry about anyone a straightaway behind. Now there's 1 to go. Turner wins by 11 seconds over a game Yarborough to capture his first big track victory since 1958. Nobody left early. They stayed for the King's coronation and to watch a hero return from exile. Challenge after challenge after challenge. All afternoon, Pops had to prove he wasn't through. Over the hill. Never was he farther back than his starting position of 4th. He led for 239 of the 500 laps. He outfoxed and outdrove Stock Car Racing's best and won the first American 500 at an average speed of 101.9 miles an hour. Curtis Turner thrives on challenges. It's his life's blood, and victory once again is flowing through his veins. Today, the man called Pops presided over the birth of a baby. He breathed life into it and gave it its first spanking. But he saw it grow into maturity in less than 5 hours. And the American 500 is a baby no more.
If any man can be said to own Daytona, it is Richard Petty. He has won 5 Daytona 500s, 4 more than any other driver. Competition is as stiff for the beauty contestants as it is for the drivers. Pretty girls are at a premium in this world-famous vacation land, and they all want to be seen on the front stretch of NASCAR's richest and most glamorous Winston Cup race. "40 men and machines begin their slow circle of this monstrous 2.5-mile oval that once almost wiped out the Petty racing dynasty. In 2 separate accidents on the same day, Richard and Father Lee Petty both took trips over the wall, completely demolishing their cars. Richard walked away from his accident, but Lee's injuries finally led to his retirement. Since then, son Richard has attacked the track with a vengeance, defeating its highly banked turns and incredible speeds time and time again. The green flag falls for pole sitter Donnie Allison as Petty and Yarborough quickly jump around second and third place qualifiers Pearson and Bobby Allison. As the red, white, and blue Matador begins to fade into the field, it appears to be an early four-car duel. But Donnie's Dyegard machine is forced to make way for both the Petty STV Dodge and Yarborough Chevrolet, dropping Donnie to a third-place battle with David Pearson. There's an accident in the third turn as 5 cars careen dangerously close to the press area. Only the incredible skill of these drivers prevents what could have been a major disaster, and once again brings out the caution flag. But it soon becomes obvious Petty's problems have just begun.
You know, I could run real fast and run and catch up with everybody, and then the car would run hot and we'd have to come in and put water in it. Every time we put water in it, then I could go back out and run again. What happened, they busted a head on it and the water kept running out, so we had to keep it cooled off.
But overheating is a serious problem in racing for the drivers and the spectators.
Down the backstretch, Myers challenges Turner. It's Turner first into the south turn. Weatherly and number 12 Ford battles Myers. Number 99 in trouble. Bob Plunger's Buick slows down with engine trouble. Look out! Whitey Norman's Ford is high and dry, out of the race.
Here they come, Monty Flock in 14 and Dick Rathman in 120 out in front. Now we have a battle for the lead between Tim Flock in 91 and Lee Petty in 42. Tim is Monty Flock's younger brother, and Monty says Tim is a better, smoother driver. The lead belongs to Tim Flock in 91 as he passes cars one by one. And here comes a wheel without a car. Oh, that was a close one. And here's the car that lost the wheel, way behind. Look out for those ruts. Just stopped in time. The race is on. Monty Flock in number 14 takes the lead. Monty stretches his lead as the first lap ends. He's turning over. Driver Jimmy Ingram is still in there, but they get him out. The race never stops, and at 105 laps, Dig Rathman in number 20 takes the lead. Rathman qualified for this race in the record speed of 89.06 miles an hour. Look out! It's Dick Rathman in 20 and Weldon Adams in 54. And nobody hurt. That's all for Pete Kelly in this race. A wheel is gone. It's Rathman. His bid for victory comes to an end when he breaks an axle coming into the backstretch.
the checkered flag and victory for the man who said he'd win. He's averaged 74.51 miles an hour for 500 punishing miles, even with 1/10 of the distance at a slow pace due to wrecks and rain. What a record these stock cars have made in the Southern 500 at Darlington, South Carolina.
Here they are. Tim Flock's Mercury, fastest qualifier, inside front row. Win Staley's Plymouth next to him. Curtis Turner's Ford in third position. Bob Pronger's Buick is fourth. Lee Petty's Oldsmobile fifth. Billy Myers' Mercury sixth. Coming up to the starter's tower, the yellow caution flag still holding them. There's the green. The race is on as 28 cars roar through the hairpin south turn, heading for the beach straightaway. There's a spin, and the yellow flag warns all of the starters. 2 cars are stalled in the middle of the south turn as the other cars maneuver past. A terrific show of car control. Tim Flock's Mercury leads the pack out of the south turn onto the beach. Staley's Plymouth second, Turner's Ford right behind. Billy Myers roars by Turner into first place as they hit the beach straightaway. He's moving up to the checkered flag. Tim Flock's Mercury wins in record time. It's been a long day of racing. On to the winner's circle with a new record for convertibles of 101.3 miles an hour. 5 miles an hour faster than the average speed in this race a year ago. A driver's dream come true. To win in style, to win with record performance. This is the beginning of a year of competition. A year in which performance on the racetracks leads to higher performance on the highways. Dreams are proven in performance. Tim Flock, Billy Myers, the men of the Mercury division have proven their dreams at Daytona Beach.
Wins into the guardrail. Fireball Roberts clings grimly to his slim lead with Jack Smith in car 47 on his tail. Then Bob Welborn, Ned Jarrett, Curtis Turner, and Jim Reed all packed in the same lap. Car 39, Herb Tillman loses control. Tillman is out of the race, 1 by 1. Fireball Roberts kisses his lead goodbye with a pit stop. Bucky Blackburn bites the rail a third time. The spunky North Carolina driver must have nerves of steel to survive this 4th accident today. A 58 Chevrolet piloted by G.C. Spencer, car 48, zooms into that 4th turn guardrail. Doug Yates, car 23, explodes into the 4th turn rail. Yates' crew breaks the news that he's out of the race for good. Roberts loses control and caroms off the 4th turn rail. Roberts' frantic bid for Smith's commanding lead fails. Another car slams into the rail. It's car 11, a 64 driven by Ned Jarrett. Jarrett's okay. His car is a wreck. 1 by 1, the favorites and the long shots seem to be dropping. Fate is busy today. The Plymouth is out of control. Bobby Johns bounces off the 4th turn guardrail. Many of these drivers have deep-seated superstitions. Some rebel at the color green. Another wears the same old shoes. Today, another superstition is in the making. That 4th turn is turning out to be a nemesis. That fateful 4th turn throws another. It's car 15, Johnny Clutter spinning.
But the night before the race, a welcome chance to relax. A beauty contest at the track with 24 of the Southland's most glamorous belles competing for the title of Miss Southern 500. And one of the 5 judges, Fonty Flock.
They're moving smoothly past the main grandstand into the first turn. A mighty parade of power. These high-performance machines are ready for anything. The dust and dirt kicked up by each car. The high bank turns which put a premium on car control. The long straightaways where drivers demand full power. Because of the large starting field, half the pit areas have been placed along the backstretch facing the new grandstand. The first time this plan has been used on an American racetrack. The third turn, ready now for 500 miles of performance. A year's performance packed into one afternoon. They're running for the largest purse ever offered in stock car racing competition. Here they come. The race is on. The front runners roar away, leaving a dust and bit-filled tornado as they head for the first turn. Mansion number 8 jams his Ford into the lead. Thompson's Chrysler is a close second. Goldsmith's Chevrolet is third. Joe Weatherly finds himself traveling 70 miles an hour backwards before he scrapes to a stop against the retaining wall. His number 9 is teammate to Turner's 99. Weatherly's a sitting duck out there as 100-mile-an-hour traffic bears down, but his fellow drivers manage to get around him. Weatherly finds a break in traffic and heads for the pits and a new tire. He's not through racing. Trouble on the backstretch. Jack Smith sets a new speed record for traveling sideways. A 300-foot slide ends a few feet from the guardrail, but he's heading right back. Herb Thomas meets the guardrail head-on, then spins twice after he's struck from the rear by another car. Thomas keeps the car under control and eases his battered machine toward the pits as the yellow flag slows the field. But Fireball Roberts in number 22 hasn't seen the signal to slow down. He barrels through the turn and plows into number 98. Danny Lettner punches through the steel guardrail, but he's not injured. Fireball Roberts, number 22, is disabled and limps into the infield. Once they hook up the tow truck, there isn't much chance for any more racing. Uh-oh, there's a mix-up in the second turn. Oops, pardon me. No damage. Now all he needs is tailwind. A cloud of dust, 30 feet of missing guardrail. One car unaccounted for, another crippled. Then a gas tank torn loose from the disabled car by the shock of collision is crushed by another car and ignites. In seconds, a chain of events that can lead to disaster confronts every driver hurtling into the corner. The missing car is Bill Brown's. It pitched over a 26-foot embankment and lies wrecked, although the driver is all right. But Larry Flynn is still in his car. A trail of gasoline is splashed across the asphalt toward his wreck. The column of smoke warns all other cars on the track, and skillful driving lessens the danger of a pileup. There's Flynn. He's out of danger. Nudges the guardrail and stops broadside in the groove, that invisible lane that most drivers find the fastest and smoothest way around, the lane that draws the 100-mile-an-hour traffic. Traffic slips by, many of the cars forced to dent the guardrail, avoiding a collision. A spin. And a recovery. Ross Howard finds out the hard way how it feels to be on ice. The crowd on the main straightaway is on its feet as Turner lead-foots it through the third turn. Curtis Turner wins his first Southern 500 going away. The last time around, Turner takes one lap for insurance before rolling toward the winner's circle. Turner is a wealthy Virginia lumberman who races for the sport of racing, the solid satisfaction of rewriting the record books. His new record for 500 miles is better than 95 miles an hour.
Just one lap to go. But what's this? Lorenzen's coasting. Cars stream by him. He's out of gas, trying to coast the final mile. Cars continue to whistle past him. He's creeping down the home stretch. Lorenzen wins, and now he cuts across the infield apron to the golden ring. What a finish, huh, Freddie?
It's unbelievable. I run over something at 200 miles. I was going to come in and park the car. I thought I blew an engine. I put it back in gear, and it went. 3 laps to go, I started running out of gas, and the last 2 laps, I was almost out. In the last lap, I got the white flag, the engine killed, and I coasted all the way around.
There's Tim heading into the home stretch. And Brother Pontiflock congratulates Tim as he gets the checkered flag. Tim's wife is hysterically happy. And she takes after him with a quart of milk. Brother Fonte is in the act, too, happy that Tim has set a new record for Detroit's 250-mile dirt track. There's plenty of congratulating for Tim Flock's victory in the Motor City 250.
Superstars don't always win, but no small part of reaching that elite status is learning to live with adversity until they do.
He knew it had to happen, and he knew he could not fail. He knew he had a job to do, and did he do it well? The winner's circle at Darlington is the ending of this tale. So when you think of racing superstars, just add the name of Cale.